So that shiny new game just came out, Dread Dawn, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game first and first impressions. Keep in mind this is not a full review, this is a quick look at the game. I played the game for about 3 hours, so I'll show some footage of the game while describing it and giving a few thoughts on it. In the menu, there's 3 modes: Start New Game, Director Mode, and Survival Mode. Only starting a new game is released, however, and the other 2 say coming soon. When pressing Start a New Game, you'll see it has 9 chapters, or levels, in there. The beginning one is Apocalypse, and that's the one I spent 3 hours in. The other ones don't have names. I hope that's because it's just not unlocked rather than not released yet. The game begins in a school dorm, and there's a lot of people in there doing different things. There's some people that you can talk to, as well as some mini games that you can find in here. There's also various containers that you can loot in the game: lockers, boxes, cars, trash cans, bookshelves, and many more. There's quite a bit to loot. One other really strange thing to note is that when you interact with a computer in the game, it loads up YouTube, like actually YouTube. It goes straight to a video that has comments about this exact experience. They're talking about being here from the game as well. It's interesting. You can change videos and use it like any other time that you're on YouTube as well. Once you're done messing around and exploring, you'll be following the text under the mini-map on the top right to follow the mission, as well as following the red arrows that are on the screen. When you pull up the actual map, it's just lines and circles. It's kinda useless. While in the dorms, a lady will get attacked by a zombie outside, and then the survival begins. All of the talking is done via text on the screen, and there's no voice acting in this game also. You can zoom the camera in and out a pretty good distance in this game, so you can zoom out and look around for zombies nearby, for example. The settings in this game are almost non-existent. Basically, you can just change the zombie amount. It's at 1200 by default, but goes up to 4500. I set it at 4500 to try that out, and then I just left it there. Even though there's no graphical settings, the game does have a unique art style that looks decent. There are some weird textures here and there, but for the most part it's good. Eventually, the army, well, a few members of it, comes to save the students. They ask you about exits, and then you take them to a couple different gates, both blocked with zombies, so you end up running around to different exits with the soldiers and students following you until you end up at the school gym. So back to looting. There's actually a decent amount of items to be found in this game. I mean, there's the usual and common items that you'll find a bunch of, but there's a decent amount of other items as well. Food, items to throw and distract zombies, grenades, guns, ammo, and so on. There's a few items that give permanent upgrades too, like more stamina, health, and inventory slots. As far as I can tell, all items that aren't weapons are stackable in the inventory. I had yet to reach a limit if there is one. I had some items with 80 in a slot at the end when I got off the game. All usable items have health, meaning they will break the more that you use them. There are repair kits though, but some items can't be repaired, while some others can. Also, items have their own stats. Some weapons have more damage, some food gives more health. Eventually, you'll also meet some merchants to buy and sell items, which cost money. You can find money in the game, but after 3 hours, I had like $150. I think selling items to merchants is probably your best bet to actually make money. In addition to your inventory, there's 2 more tabs. Both are for building. One tab is for more structure-based items, like traps, walls, campfires, and defensive weapons. This will be used later on in the game to help protect the school. I'm betting in later chapters you'll be heavily needing to build, but in the 3 hours that I played, I barely touched on that. The other tab is more for your own character: axe, lockpicks, and more. You can't craft items right away though. I found books in the game that give me points to unlock building items. I went with the hammer to break down doors, and a lockpick to get more loot. When your character levels up, you can upgrade yourself too, but the stat you select to upgrade only goes up by 1 point, and it costs, I think, 4 level up points. That kinda sucked. There are a few slots on your character where you can put things like hats, gloves, outfit, and others. They will upgrade your stats when equipped, like more defense, more health, and so on. The world in this game is what I'd consider semi-open world, maybe. It didn't feel that small as I was running around dodging or fighting zombies. There can be a lot of zombies on the screen at once too. It's kinda crazy. Those hordes are no joke. Luckily, there are a lot of soldiers spread throughout the city that will take them down, or try to. The zombies won't attack you unless you're near them, so you could run by them if you're far enough away. Also, I did encounter one other type of zombie. It's pale and has a lot of health as well as a powerful attack. Those are much more dangerous. You could also use the environment to attack. If there's a fire nearby, you could try angling the zombies to run into that. However, you need to be careful while out and about, as you have health, stamina, and hunger to keep track of. I did die a good amount of times, simply because I wasn't yet used to how the game worked. You'll probably die a bit as well as you get used to this. Some people just attack you for no reason, simply by being near them. Once I walked into a building and caught people saying that they should rob the next person who walked in there, and so I walked in there and got shot and killed, so maybe don't do what I did. But as far as I can tell, there aren't any repercussions to dying, unless there is and I just didn't see it. I seem to still have all of my items after dying at least. Now that you know the gist of the game, let's continue the story. After getting to the gym, your character wants to find his sister. You'll be going all over asking people until you find out that she was at a concert and was arrested for drunkenly punching people, including the police. Most of my 3 hours was spent exploring the city as I went to get the sister from the police station. After that, we went back to the school base, defended against the horde, and then after that, when I go to my inventory, it shows a countdown for the the next horde. My next mission was to rescue a professor who's a military weapons consultant. I'm going to assume that's where I can begin crafting weapons, but I'm not certain, as I got off the game during this mission. I do have items meant for crafting, so that's my hope at least. If you like to explore and loot and kill a lot of zombies, then this game has you covered. I skipped several areas and only looted half of what I saw in the areas that I did go, and I still spent 3 hours in this game while barely progressing the story at all. And I did actually enjoy my time on this game, which is why when I see on Steam that this game has mostly negative reviews, it's kind of confusing to me. I won't get into all of that. It will be up to you to decide if this game is for you or not. The graphics are more unique looking, which is fine to me. The performance was also good, but my overlay was not working in this game, so I couldn't see my FPS. Regardless though, it was smooth to play. Overall, I like this game and will probably be going back to it soon, though that's my personal opinion. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.